Hello and welcome to Mondays with Mandy. It is Monday, President's Day, and I thought today I would bring you to work with me. I'm working one of my acting gigs, or I'd say it's an acting adjacent gig. I perform a show at a museum, so I do museum theater. And before you roll your eyes, we are one of the top museums in the country, and especially in terms of performance and theater and incorporating theater into the museum experience. And so my job here today, and I'm probably going to be putting on some makeup while I talk because I have to get ready. So my gig here at the museum, I do a show where so basically the museums educates people on the Constitution. And the function of my show is to give people a brief overview of the history of the United States. So when that became sort of an established thing. So we don't talk much about pre-colonialism, but we talk about what was going on in the country leading up to the inception and creation of the Constitution. And it's a 17-minute, one-person show that has a lot of cool bells and whistles in it, where we talk about what was going on. And it gives you a context so that you understand when you go into the museum, you have a context for what was going on. And I feel like my job is really important right now because I think there's a lot of misinformation being put out. And so we are a nonpartisan museum where we dedicate the museum to educating people on the Constitution. So my job, I'm the storyteller today. I will be doing the show 7 times. I had thought about maybe bringing you along for all 7, sort of throughout the day, but I think that if I do that, I won't post till much later, and I'd like to get it out sometime around, lunchtime. I don't know if that's the best time to post, but that's kind of what my aim has been. So I thought I would at least bring you along for a few of the shows today and me getting ready and kind of hang out with me, since sometimes it can be a very lonely job because I'm just here by myself today. It's a holiday schedule, and so it's just me here today. I will be doing the show 7 times. So you may be wondering how you kind of keep your stamina up for that many shows. I found for me that I have to be really careful with how much energy I put out into each show. You need to put out performance energy, but you don't want to spend all of your energy dollars in the first show, or you won't have enough to get through the day. We do the show so we have half-hour break in between each show. Because the show is a lot of talking, I eat very small bites throughout the day. I can't really eat I can't really eat a full lunch on a day where I'm performing the show that many times, because those of you who don't do theater, the way that you support your breath when you're on stage is right here. It's the muscle right here that sort of you push up and the air comes out. And so if you eat a really big meal, what's going to happen is your stomach's going to push down into that muscle, and it's going to make it harder for you to breathe, and you will no doubt get burpy throughout the day, and nobody wants you to be burping through their show, so I take little bites as I need them sort of in between shows. What else was I gonna say? I think that's it. I'm just gonna be putting on my makeup, and then I'm going to warm up a little bit. I was thinking about that on the way in, about like people making fun of actors' warm-ups, and you may be wondering if that's a necessary part of the process, and it absolutely is a necessary part of the process. If you think about it, like, you wouldn't go to the gym and just start lifting heavy weights without warming up. And the muscles that we use as an actor are here and here, right? And in my show, it's also here. This is my heart. So I'll be doing some vocal and face warm-ups. I may film that just because it's funny. And one of the other things that I typically do is I run my lines for the show really fast, because it helps me to warm up my mouth. But I won't be recording the sound for that because the show is copyrighted, and that's not cool. So I'm not gonna put the script of the show online, because that's not right. So anyway, right now I'm doing my makeup, which is very exciting. It's one of my actor warm-ups, get my lips warmed up. I'm about to go out and do the show in just a few minutes. So I will report back. The first show is always a good indication of how things are going to go for the day. So hopefully I'm in the pocket today, but I will report back. So this is the theater where I work. Hi. This is the theater where I work. Just a few minutes ago, this theater was completely packed with guests. So I did my first show of the day. So now I have a little break. The first show went really well. I was pretty in the pocket. There was a few places where I feel like I could slow down a little bit. I usually get really, really nervous my first show, just because my adrenaline gets really high. But it went really well, and so now I'm gonna go and chill out for a little bit in the dressing room and maybe have a little bite of yogurt. So let's talk a little bit about nerves and how to manage nerves as a performer. So as I said, my first show of the day, I typically get a little bit nervous because the first show is going to give me a sense of, I do a check-in with myself and where I am sort of mentally, physically, what my speed is. Because the thing with this show is that it's on a timer. You push a button and the show goes, and you sort of have to fit in the show. I'm sure a lot of my theme park performers, I hope that's not an offensive term. I don't know what else, I don't know what they go by, but actors who perform at, sort of entertainment parks, theme parks, probably face a similar thing where you have to fit into the show and make it feel alive instead of the other way around. So I always get a sense the first show of the day of what my natural rhythm is for the day. And for this show, I was a little bit, just a little bit ahead in certain points where I feel like I can slow down and breathe a little bit. One of the things I do to control my nerves that my friend James Imes, he used to work here. I don't know if he does anymore, but he did work here. And one of the things he would always say to himself before he started his show to walk out, he would be standing there in the vom and he would just say to himself, unclench your butt. And so I think about that because when we get nervous, we tend to like clench up. And so one of the ways to deal with nerves is that you have to sort of very deliberately slow down your breath, unclench your jaw, unclench your butt, and breathe and trust. And one of the things with doing this, so I've been doing this show I think at this point for over 10 years, which is crazy. I don't do it all the time, but you can't do something that many times and not, you know, mess up. Like, you're a human, people are going to mess up. And so I just try and go to my place of Zen, set my intention before the show, which I know is getting thrown, that phrase is getting thrown around a lot, but sort of just getting into the mindset of like, I'm going to have a good show. The lines are just going to come to me. They're just going to be there. I trust they're going to be there. I've done my job. I've done my homework, and just trusting that I'm enough. I'm enough, and I'm interesting enough, and just make sure that you're communicating clearly and make sure that you're having fun. So take that for what it is. Okay, I just had a little bite of yogurt before my next show, and I'm about to do my second show of the day, so I'll report back. Oh, she's having technical difficulties today. My phone is not happy with me. Apple clearly wants me to buy a new phone. Fuck you, Apple. Anyway, so at this point, I got done with my second show. It's going well. I feel like I'm in the pocket. So thank you so much for joining me this week, coming along to work with me. And I'm going to get ready to do 5 more shows. So thanks for keeping me company. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I really enjoy hearing from you in the comments. So please leave me a comment because I get excited when you do. So I will see you next week for more Mondays with Mandy.